はい。今回は、ザ・ファーストツリー、始めていきたいと思います。これはストアで、1000円ぐらいのゲームですね。ちょっと設定は字幕、解説モード。解説モードっていうのがよくわからんけど、ちょっと、解説欲しいんで、チェック入れときましょうかね。
Hi, my name is David Whaley, and I'm the creator of the first tree. I also voice a character named Joseph. So I just wanted to introduce you to this commentary mode, tell you that you can find interesting things about how I made this game by touching the speech bubbles you see in the world. So I hope you enjoy it.
字幕こうやった方がいいってこと？
Are you awake? I thought I heard you.
あ、字幕やっと出た。
Yeah, I'm awake.
待った。最初からやろう。はい。では、気を取り直して、ザ・ファーストツリー、もう一度やっていきたいと思います。さっきなんか設定がうまく反映されてなかったのか、最初の字幕が出てなかったんで。
Hi, my name is David Whaley, and I'm the creator of the first tree. I also voice a character named Joseph. So I just wanted to introduce you to this commentary mode, tell you that you can find interesting things about how I made this game by touching the speech bubbles you see in the world. So I hope you enjoy it.
バツボタンでジャンプ。
Are you awake? I thought I heard you get up.
Yeah,
走る。
I'm awake. Sorry, I just can't sleep.
Are you thinking about him?
Yeah, a bit. Usually get back to sleep, my love. I'm fine.
No, it's okay. What else is on your mind?
I don't know. It seems weird, but I had one of the most vivid dreams of my life. I saw a fox on a snowy mountain, just looking confused and worried. Those
ああ、このキツネの視点ではなくて、夢でキツネを見た人の視点なのかな、これ。
Looking for something.
Do you think it has to do with you
最
and
近の出来
what's been
事、なん
going
か悪い
on?
ことがあったのか。
I don't know. It was just a dream, Rachel.
二段ジャンプ
They're
で
not
きる
meant
ぞ。
to make sense. A lot's happened the past couple days, that's all.
Well, if you're not going to sleep anyway, you should tell me. I want to hear.
キツネこれ何？
All right.
どうしたらいい？
So it's usually at this point where people say something like, "This is not the kind of game I was expecting." And that happened a lot at PAX West when I showed it. We'd have little kids play it, but then they see a dead fox cub, or kit is technically the word, but cub sounds, I don't know, sounds better. Like Wes Anderson uses it in Fantastic Mr. Fox, so I thought cub would be all right. But anyway, having this game, I wanted it to be more serious. This game's based on dealing with the death of my father, which was the hardest thing that's ever happened to me and my family. But I don't want to talk about it here, and I didn't want to talk about it with anybody really to this day still. It's very personal. And that's why I made this game. That's exactly the reason. Because I wanted to get those feelings out and like communicate with people without like talking about it. And so that's what the first tree is. It's me dealing with my feelings, and it was a personal project, and it was just me, and it actually, like, I'm really glad I made it. but it wasn't easy to make, I guess is what I'm saying. So, not far from her home, she followed that path to something unexpected. She couldn't stay, though. She had to find her other 2 children. So she took that path. She
子
followed
供が
it
2
towards something
匹いるわけ
ancient.
ね。さっき死んでたのは子
Some
供。
fox answers high and low, searching for any sign of her cubs. Points of light showed the way to this ancient tree.
食べろ。
It was as if each one had a story to tell, all their own. The land was trying to tell my story, too. I felt like I was right behind her the whole time.
どうせこれ
The bunnies were added
字幕ないんで
because
しょ。解説モードっていうのを外したら出るとか
my wife
関係ないね。
Elise, who also voices Rachel in the game,
なん
who's
なんだ
also
これ
helped a ton to make the game. As we were playing, she just said it. The world felt kind of empty and not alive enough. So I knew we needed to add some kind of life, and so the bunnies was like the first idea that came to mind.
鳥の影か。
And like most of the game, I used like publicly available assets to speed up production because I was working full time along with making this game, and we just had our first baby, a little girl named Evelyn. So I was messing with this asset called Herd Sim, and at one point, like the generation script that creates variations of the sizes of the bunny. One time I got out of control and it made like this monster bunny that towered over everybody. And I shared that GIF on Imager and Reddit, and that was a huge hit. It helped definitely gain an audience for this game.
なんか出
But
て
it's
きた。
hard because this game is like so serious. It's about
Lost
life and
light.
death, not giant bunnies.
何これ。
But I knew I needed something like a shout out to that because it was pretty fun. So if you're able to catch all the bunnies on this map, I think there's around 13, then you'll get a special surprise.
これだけ？
So good luck. As a kid, did you ever do show and tell in your class?
Yeah, I think I only did it once, when I was in the 4th grade. You know how my life was around then. I wanted to show my class what helped pass the time and distracted me. So I brought a dozen paper cranes I had made. I think I told everyone how badly I wanted to be a bird and fly, embarrassingly enough.
Don't be embarrassed. Every kid wants to fly. For me, it was another toy from my dad, a wooden boat. I remember
お
guarding
も
it
ちゃの
so
さっ
carefully
き
in
埋ま
my
ってた
hands
の
as
っ
I
ておも
walked
ちゃの
into
船っぽ
class.
くなかった。
When I sat down, a group of boys immediately made fun of it. They asked which trash can I found it in, or why an ugly log was my favorite toy. When I got up, I didn't even want to tell them my dad had carved it. I said it was a joke gift my friends had given me.
Kids can be so cruel.
Some of them are. I shouldn't have let them get to me, but it did. It's amazing we bounced back at all. Do you remember what my dad did for a living?
Wasn't he like a
おもちゃの
lumberjack?
車。
That's one way of putting it. If wood was a canvas, then a carving knife was his paintbrush. Even after working a 50-hour week, even after his hands were more splinters than skin,
あ、
he
も
would
しゃ
bring
の
home the
列車
nicest
か。
piece of Alaskan weeping cedar and make me toys. That wooden train was the
Okay.
first toy I can remember, and I loved it.
光ってる。
I just knew from a young age I was going to be a lumberjack, like my father.
ほなんか車ある。そんだけ？マップ広くないですか？ちょっとね、全部回収したい。光の柱をね、とにかく回っていくゲームなんかな、これ。あ、なんかおる。後ろ足長いな、このウサギ。またこれか。面白くないんだよね。
I feel like one of the main reasons people play small indie games is because they are so personal and intimate. So I tried to put myself into this game as
こっ
much
ち
as
行ってみよう
possible. So almost all the vignettes or little stories you hear in this game, they come from my childhood, where I grew up in the middle of nowhere in Central Virginia in the United States. So yeah, that's probably why I love games like this so much, where you explore this open, wide environment and just find interesting things, because that's exactly what I did as a kid.
ちょっと足が遅いか。大丈夫か、いける。
The older I got, the more I withdrew. I asked myself, why talk to anybody anyway? Why bother when I'm happy by myself? I started drawing a lot, mostly animals I saw in the woods by my home. I then imagined designing my own hideouts with things like TVs and pantries full of chips and cookies. I think that idea of leaving home and drawing blueprints started my career. I found a lot of solace in that.
I'm not surprised, but I did the same thing, you know? There's something special about having a place to call your own.
And now look at us. Well, if you count renting in an overpriced city.
It's as close as we can get for now.
I thought it was important to say that, yes, I actually did draw this with crayons. And it was just funny to me one day that I was like, I'm working on my game, and I pulled out my little 1-year-old's like crayon set to draw this item for this game. I just realized just now that I probably threw away the original. I probably should have kept it and given it away to somebody, but oh well. A lot of people have gotten confused why Joseph's father is called a sourdough, and it's not stated outright at the beginning of the game, but Joseph and his dad, they grew up in Alaska. And I don't really have a real connection to Alaska except through friends who lived there, and it was also the place that me and my dad were going to go right before he passed away. But I love the idea of Alaska being like this beautiful solitary place. But anyway, what that has to do with sourdough is it's an Alaskan slang term about like someone who lives in the backwoods, like a redneck in Alaska. So I thought that was just to put some authenticity into the game. I added that word.
Usually those kids would leave me alone, but somehow they could tell I was different. They made fun of how far away I lived. They called my dad a sourdough. I was a blabbermouth as a kid, telling my dad stories I made up for hours. But after that show and tell, I didn't tell him much anymore. He didn't know exactly what was wrong, but his best guess was that the toys he carved weren't cool enough. He carved me a tank and tried to tell me what it was like to be in a real tank as a serviceman.
I didn't know your dad was in the military.
Yeah, in the army. The sad thing is that I'd pretty much forgotten until just now. There's so much I still don't know about him.
I'm sorry. He knows how much you love him. You're going to see him again soon and have some closure, for sure.
なんか複雑な親子関係なんかな。話が全然見えてこんけど、この会話してる人らは夫婦なんかな。どこ行けばいい？山の向こうかな。こっちじゃないな。何 羽がピチャピチャ言ってんのかと思ったら雨降ってんのか、これ。眩しい。あっちか、あの奥だ、多分。俺なんか取ってないアイテムがあるよ。お、次のステージか。おう、雪山卒業。
My teenage years were full of sketching, angst, and trouble. I wasn't popular or unpopular. Maybe just forgettable. I guess that gave me a sense of freedom. So I hung out with crazy kids, doing crazy things, even though I mostly just watched the chaos ensue. We did it all. Put fireworks in mailboxes, hide roadkill in people's garages, break windows of the barber shop in Anchorage. My dad was furious, but he was so busy working he couldn't do much to stop me from going out.
I think being an adult means there's no one to stop you making hard decisions. He had to make a living, and he couldn't be in two places at once.
Yeah, I realize that now. But at the time, I was sure he was more interested in growing his business than what was going on with me.
登れんやんか。まあ使い道がわからんアイテムなんかいらんか。よし。
I always wanted this game to be very meditative and relaxing, but I know there's a balance between keeping the player's interest. So I added this butterfly jumping mechanic just to like spice things up. I used a plugin called Playmaker for Unity, which in a visual editor lets you do interactive things, which is perfect for me because I do come from a film and design background. But on the flip side, I really wish I was good at code because this jumping mechanic, the jumping mechanic in the whole game actually has frustrated a lot of players. But hopefully I've been able to fine-tune it, so it should feel a lot better now. I would just hate that this meditative game would get frustrating, so I've definitely I've lowered the gravity, I've made the jumps more consistent, so hopefully people can just focus on the world and the story.
It was working another late night, and my friends were over, saying how bored they were and how they'd come all the way out to my house for nothing. One of them mentioned how that old, ugly beyond belief truck was still in the garage, and how we should take it for a spin. I was only 15, so I kind of fought it for a while. The next thing I knew, we were careening around the mountain path, rocks spitting onto the sides of the cliff, while my dad's cringeworthy bluegrass blared out the speakers. I drove while my friends were in the back of that yellow and purple truck, throwing beer bottles and trash at anything remotely interesting. Felt like I was soaring in the air with borrowed wings. But all good things have endings. A cop outside of Eagle River pulled us over after he saw us send a bottle rocket into someone's yard. What followed was a long night of talking to disappointed adults and feeling smaller than ever.
人んちの庭にロケット飛ばしたのか。 俺もやったな、学生の頃。友達の家に遊びに行って、向かいの人の家にロケット花火打ち込んだら、そこのおじさんがめちゃくちゃ怒って出てきて、でまあ俺は地元じゃなかったから知らん顔してもうわ、すごい滝。ええ、届かんやんかい。もういい。これ登れるか？無理だろう。結構アイテムなかったか今。これか。
After he drove me home from the police station, I blew up at him, saying how I never wanted to be like him, how I was gonna be someone and leave that hick icebox for good.
ブルーグラスっ
He
て
just
さっ
looked
きからない
forward
な。
at the road with tired eyes. I took out that bluegrass tape from the cassette deck and chucked it out the window. In my sage teenage wisdom, I thought I proved the ultimate point. But my dad had a different idea. He slammed the brakes, slowly bowed his head while gripping the steering wheel, and finally looked at me. All he said, like it was a polite request, was, "Make this right." I sat there in silence, fuming, but I eventually got out and combed every square inch of the woods, muttering profanity after profanity. I found it 30 minutes later, near a small waterfall off the road. I went back to the truck, put the wet tape back in, and sure enough it worked. We didn't speak another word to each other the rest of the night.
これ取ってどうするの？
Knew you were a crazy teenager, but
It's hard to believe, isn't it? It surprises me too. It's like I didn't really know who that kid was back then. I bet my dad thought the same thing over and over. It's almost like he was saying, "Make this right," to himself, more than to
あ
me.
あ、はいはいはいはい。分かったか
You
も。
may have noticed there's a little pond here, and believe it or not, I
What do you
tried
think?
everything I could to get swimming working in this game, and I just could not do it, unfortunately.
2
And
ついるとか。
so all the water in this game you can just stand in, which is, it still like bums me out, but the systems were not working, it was buggy. So I just had to throw it out, which, you know, I think it's okay. Like I wish it was there, but again, the focus of this game is on the story.
あ、3個いるんか。まあ。お、これいけそうじゃね？ もうちょっとじゃん。よし。これ集めたからってどうなるかわからんけど。まあこれ順番が違うっていうのはわかる。2個じゃ届かんやな。3個いるか。まあいいか。あんな何言ってるかわからんカセットなんか。まずこれで1個でジャンプを使わずに2個目ここジャンプいるじゃん。嘘や。あ、いらんかった。いやいやいや、これいける。よし。
My friends would laugh about that night and talk about how crazy it was. And I laughed along, pretending it didn't bother me. But it did. I imagined my friends growing old in the bush, unable to find that thrill in those godforsaken ice fields. It's like those mountains were a literal wall, keeping me from leaving, where all I would have to look forward to are lumber yards and
これはも
evening
のすごい
beers.
ジャンプ力なんじゃないか。
I had to climb over.
え、
That was my only goal
マジ
for a
かよ
long
これ。
time.
そんなのあり。なんかもう別のゲームになってきてるけど。もうちょっと頑張ってくれよ。どう行くのがいいんだ。できるだけ低そうなところで。無理だってこれだから。 そんなのあり？あ、ダメか。ジャンプできなかった。すごいぞ、壁キック。いけたー。マジか。なんだったあの苦労は。もうその代わり1個アイテム取れんかったけど。
If there was some way I could take my love of drawing and turn it into a way of escape, nothing would make me happier. I wanted to create instead of tearing trees down. I wanted to move to the lower 48, not because I hated it there in Alaska, but I hated the idea of it. It's like all of that spite inside me created this monster that followed me around my whole teenage years. I put so much energy into doing what others didn't expect of me. Why did I do that?
There's one fact you're forgetting, though. If you didn't have that fire in you, we probably would have never met.
You're absolutely right. Maybe the destination is all that matters in the end. But then why am I awake? Why am I seeing this fox go on her journey? And why can't I stop thinking about my dad?
この狐はやっぱり喋ってる人の夢なのか。なんか勝手に。はい。というわけで、ちょっとキリがいいのか悪いのか、途中でやめれるのかもわからないですけど、今回はこの辺で一旦区切りたいと思います。次回またお会いしましょう。では、さらば。